illumination. It's a word we hear a lot, right?
Right.
Especially in, spiritual circles.
Or even just when you have a big idea.
Exactly. And we think of it as this gentle, warm thing, like a light bulb going on over your head or sunlight. But what if real illumination isn't peaceful? What if it's actually terrifying?
That is such a good way to frame it. Because when
Yeah.
you look at the actual process of waking up, spiritually or psychologically, it is hardly ever gentle. It's usually destructive. It burns.
And that fire, that burning, that brings us right to the subject of our deep dive today. We are looking at a figure who really embodies that intense, necessary light. We're talking about Archangel Uriel.
Specifically, we're digging into a chapter called Archangel Uriel, the Flame of Illumination and the Master's Light, from the text 12 Archangels. And I have to say, if you're expecting the usual angel story, this isn't it.
No, not at all. This text throws us right into the deep end. We're talking esoteric traditions.
Deep end is right. Freemasonry, Kabbalah, Hermeticism.
So yeah, buckle up. Our mission today is to really understand Uriel, not just as a religious figure, but as this powerful symbol of the intellect, of what mystics call the inner sun.
And the why of it all is, I think, really important. This matters because Uriel represents that part of us, that part of the human psyche that wants truth no matter the cost.
Even if the cost is our own comfort.
Especially then.
Okay, let's get into it. The identity first. The name itself, Uriel, it means God is my light, doesn't it?
It does. God is my light, or sometimes fire of God.
Yeah.
And that little difference, light versus fire, that's everything. It's the whole key.
How so?
Well, light just lets you see things. But fire fundamentally changes what it touches.
The source material is so specific about his personality. It calls him a fierce brilliance. And I love this part. It says he is explicitly not gentle.
Right. It just shatters that whole Victorian image of angels playing harps. The text uses this great metaphor. It says he burns away illusion. Think of it like a forest fire. Not a destructive one, but a controlled burn.
Yeah.
You have to clear out all the dead undergrowth so new things can grow. Uriel is that fire.
So he's the angel of wisdom and prophecy, but he's also this inner sun for the initiate.
Exactly. He's not the angel you pray to when you lose your car keys.
Right. He's the one you encounter when your entire worldview is starting to crumble.
And that's the point. The text suggests you can't have true clarity without that shock, that unsettling of the soul. The old structure has to be shaken up before you can build something stronger.
You can't renovate a house without knocking down a few walls.
There you go.
But here's something I think is really important. If I'm a listener and I just grab my standard Bible off the shelf, I'm not going to find him, am I?
Nope. You'll come up empty. Uriel is a heavy hitter, but he's a heavy hitter of the Apocrypha. He's not in the standard canon for most denominations, but in those mystical texts written between the Old and New Testaments. Oh, he's a superstar.
The source brings up a story from a text called 2 Esdras that I found. Honestly, kind of funny. It's basically an angel just completely schooling a prophet.
Oh, it's a classic. So you've got the prophet Ezra, and he's doing what prophets do. He's agonizing. He's asking God all the big questions. Why is there suffering? Why is the world like this? Just explain it to me.
He wants the cosmic blueprints.
Right. And who shows up? Uriel. And Uriel doesn't give him a straight answer. He basically says, okay, Ezra, you want to understand the infinite. Let's start small. Can you weigh fire for me? Can you measure the wind? Can you call back yesterday?
And Ezra's just standing there like, no, I can't do any of that.
Stumped. And that's when Uriel lowers the boom. He says, if you can't even grasp the basics of the world you live in, how on earth do you expect to comprehend the mind of God?
It's a lesson in humility for sure, but it feels like more than that. It feels like an initiation.
That's the word, initiation. Uriel is teaching him that human perception is, by its nature, limited. It has to be purified by what the text calls spiritual fire before it can handle that kind of knowledge.
You have to expand the container before you can pour in the ocean.
Perfect analogy. And you see this pattern. The source links him to Noah, warning him about the flood.
A huge apocalyptic transformation.
And to Enoch, teaching him the secrets of the stars. In every case, he's the initiator. He confronts people with their own limitations so they can transcend them.
Which is a perfect segue into the really heavy part of the source material, the link to Freemasonry.
The Master's Light.
Right. The text gets really specific about Uriel's connection to the third degree ritual.
Yes, and the symbolism here is just so rich. So the third degree, the Master Mason degree, is the culmination of the Lodge experience. And at its core is a ritual drama involving death.
A symbolic death. Let's pause on that. What does that mean?
It means the initiate plays a part. They act out the role of a master who is betrayed and symbolically killed and buried. But esoterically, which is our focus here, it's not about physical death. It's the death of the lower self.
The ego. We're talking about the ego, right? The
Yeah.
part that's attached to status and vanity and...
All of it. That has to die for the higher self, the true self, to be born. And this is where Uriel steps in. The text says he is the one who presides over the restoration of light after that symbolic death.
So you go into the darkness, you let the ego die, and Uriel is the sunrise on the other side.
Yes. But here's the crucial part, and our source really hammers this home. The light he offers isn't borrowed illumination.
Borrowed illumination, what does that mean?
It means you're not getting it from a book or a guru or a podcast. That's all reflected light, like the moon. It's secondhand.
So Uriel isn't just handing you a flashlight.
No, the master's light is the awakening of an internal sun. It's the moment the initiate realizes the light, the wisdom, it's already inside them. They become self-luminous.
That lines up perfectly with his title, Keeper of the East. The East is where the sun rises.
Exactly. The master of a Masonic lodge sits in the East for that very reason. Uriel guards the blazing star, a key Masonic symbol for that indwelling light of truth. It's like the pilot light of the soul.
So initiation isn't just joining a club. It's like installing a new operating system that runs on your own internal power.
That's a great way to put it. And to really get the mechanics of this internal sun, we have to look at the astrological and Kabbalistic links in the text. Remember the lion's paw?
Yes, the strong grip of the lion's paw. It's used to raise the master in the ritual, right?
It is, and it's not random. The source points to a correct astrological alignment. Uriel corresponds to the sign of Leo.
Leo, the lion. Okay, I see it now.
Leo is ruled by the sun. It's the solar sign. It's all about courage, authority, nobility. So being raised by the lion's paw is symbolic of being raised by that solar Urielic energy.
Like being pulled up by the power of the sun itself?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
And this connects directly to Kabbalah, to the Tree of Life. The text places Uriel at the very heart of the tree, at a center called Tiferet.
Tiferet, that's the one right in the middle, isn't it?
Dead center. It translates as beauty, but think of it more like harmony or balance. It's the pivot point.
So it connects the higher, more abstract spiritual ideas with the...
With the lower spheres of action, emotion, physical reality. It's where the divine meets the human heart. The text calls it the throne of the heart.
Wow. But wait, Uriel is the fire of God. How do you have fire at the heart of everything without it being, just destructive?
Right. It's not rage. It's not chaos. The text describes it in this amazing way. It says, his fire at Tiferet is geometrically precise, ethically balanced, and spiritually radiant.
Geometrically precise fire. I love that.
Think of the difference between a bonfire and a laser. A bonfire is chaotic. A laser's light and heat focus so perfectly it can perform surgery. That's Uriel's fire at the heart. It removes what's not needed without harming the rest.
So the idea is to become a living sun, to be a source of light and warmth for others.
Yes, but from a place of your own integrity. You rule yourself first with wisdom, which is why the training is so intense. And that brings us to maybe the most metal image of all, the flaming sword.
Yes, Uriel holding a flaming sword. My first thought is, keep out, like guarding the Garden of Eden.
And that's the usual interpretation.
Yeah.
But our source reframes it completely. It says the sword isn't for punishment, it's for self-assessment.
How does that work?
Think of fire in an ancient temple. An offering is placed on the altar, and the fire transforms it. It turns physical matter into spirit, into smoke. The text uses an alchemical term for this, calcination.
Calcination, okay.
It's the process of burning something down to its purest essence. You burn off all the impurities, the ego, the vanity, the attachments.
So the flaming sword isn't fighting the enemy out there. It's cutting away the parts of you that aren't pure.
Exactly. Until only the goal, the true self, remains. The text says the Masonic Lodge itself is a crucible for this process.
The container that can withstand the heat.
Right. And Uriel is the high priest of fire overseeing this spiritual metallurgy.
And all that burning, that purification is what allows for real vision. Which brings us to another huge symbol. The all-seeing eye.
Oh boy. The conspiracy theorist's favorite.
Yeah, everyone thinks Big Brother. An eye in the sky judging you.
But again, Uriel flips the script. The text says the all-seeing eye isn't external, it's inward.
It's not something watching you, it's the part of you that sees.
It's the light within that sees. This is Uriel's version of prophecy. It isn't about predicting lottery numbers, it's about heightened perception. It's seeing reality yourself with total clarity.
It's the shift from just looking at the symbols to actually understanding what they mean.
Exactly. It's that moment the law is no longer in a book, but, as the Source says, it's engraved upon the heart. You don't just perform the ritual, you become it. The wisdom is integrated.
It really all comes back to that integration. You stop borrowing wisdom from the outside and you uncover it within.
That's the whole journey.
So if we pull back, Uriel is really this internal compass.
He is, always pointing east, toward the new dawn, balancing that fierce strength with deep wisdom.
And the main takeaway for me, the thing I'm really going to sit with, is this idea of the master's light, that it isn't something you go out and find.
It's what's left over.
It's what's left when you finally have the courage to let the fire burn away all the junk, all the ignorance and ego.
It's a subtractive process. You don't add anything to become enlightened. You take things away.
It's not what you find, it's what you burn away. That's powerful.
It's a call to action, really, to choose clarity over comfort.
Well, on that note, we have one final thought for you to take with you.
Based on everything we've talked about, the fire, the inner sun, the sword, here's the question to ask yourself. What hidden truths might illuminate your own path if you were finally willing to face the shadows and let the fire burn away what you no longer need?
Something to think about. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Until next time, keep seeking.